Maybe you know what the current hot fuss is about if you're really into Formula One. It's about Daniel's sacking. What are the chances of him being fired? Due to Daniel Ricciardo's struggles, there were rumours that IndyCar driver Colton Herta was in contention for a McLaren spot. Australian Daniel Ricciardo is currently 11th on the Formula One drivers' standings after a tough start to his Formula One 2022 season. In fact, he could lose his Formula One seat before the end of the current season, according to a report in Yahoo. Take a look at this intriguing video all the way through to get a better idea of what happened and what is to come. Come on, let's put an end to all this buzz. At the Australian Grand Prix, Daniel Ricciardo has thus far collected points. In Bahrain, he finished 14th but failed to finish in Saudi Arabia. Ricciardo finished 18th in the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Yahoo reported that rumours said that young IndyCar driver Colton Herta was in line for a spot at McLaren. Despite Daniel Ricciardo's struggles at McLaren and rumours of his departure in 2024, Seward wrote, "Australians are pretty excited about Formula One at the moment. The American who replaces Daniel will be Colton Herta, who Zach Brown believes may open the door to a corporate America for Formula One. We'll see if Herta can do Formula One in his spare time, since it's a full-time job." During the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, Ferrari's Carlos Sainz and McLaren's Daniel Ricciardo collided right at the start. Ricciardo spun Carlos Sainz into the gravel, forcing him to retire after just 2.5 corners. A poor outing was also endured by the McLaren driver at Imola. Where he finished last. As soon as Ricciardo realised his mistake, he apologised to the Ferrari driver. In an appearance on Trevor Noah's talk show, the Australian driver talked about putting his pride aside and apologising to his rival. The apology was so painful to him that he said, "I hated every second," Ricciardo jokes. "Perhaps I've been in Formula One for so long, I know how much we all put into it and how competitive we all are. There are only 20 of us that do it. There are only 20 Formula One drivers. Each journey is important to you. As a result of the incident, I feel the need to apologise if I hold myself accountable for doing something. This is not a personal matter. Some people won't do it, but for me, I feel better by doing it so we can start over with a clean slate." My love for Daniel Ricciardo has grown over the years. As an entire community, I think we greatly admire Daniel Ricciardo and how he goes about his profession. I think Ricciardo represents what we as spectators care about because the sport is a big deal in this world today. Even more so when you're playing on an international stage in one of the biggest sports on the planet. As a fan, it's been frustrating to see Daniel have a few issues over the last few years, since we know how good of a driver he is. He's an entertainer as well. It's always great to watch him. He's a showman, if you will. His racecraft is purely entertaining, and he's made his fans extremely enthusiastic. He's most likely showed us his abilities and what he could do in a Formula One car in his Red Bull days. He's recently spent time at McLaren, which we need to discuss. The start of the season hasn't been all that good, and it doesn't look good either. There's no doubt that Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris are great driver combinations. We did think that Daniel would step into this team and kind of show Lando who is the boss. I think Lando Norris is an exciting young driver, but Ricciardo seems to have got not gelled properly with his car. Despite struggling a lot last season, he did get that win in Monza, which was excellent to watch. It was a little bit of a comeback for him as he finished the season. I guess that the reason why people are starting to speculate on Daniel Ricciardo's future is that we all know McLaren is extremely interested in at least 2 current IndyCar drivers. Among the awards we have are the Patio Award and the Colton Herta Award. These are 2 young talents who I think are very exciting. I do not watch IndyCars, but I keep an eye on them because any young talent switching over from IndyCar would be a very good thing for the sport. There is also talk that Pierre Gasly could move from AlphaTauri to be Daniel's replacement. This move would be rather interesting because it could provide Ricciardo a ride back into Red Bull under AlphaTauri. How lucky could Red Bull be to get him back in the system? Having a strong lineup is important to McLaren. Lando Norris is one of the most exciting young talents we have in the sport right now, and they are very well aware of that. Also, a duo with an American driver would be tremendous for McLaren. It would be a big draw for the team. As we all know, Formula One is a very hot topic in America right now. Tickets are flying off the shelves for every race. The American racing scenes are about to get a lot more exciting as they have 3 races starting next year. As far as Daniel Ricciardo is concerned, I don't think he's finished. The idea that this guy is done isn't something we can bear to think about. Daniel Ricciardo has had too many good drives and moments. Perhaps this raises a question of how his move to McLaren is going. As a result, at the moment, you might say it isn't. And it isn't even raised the question, hey, should he have stayed at Renault as well, / Alpine? Should he have stayed there as a result of Daniel Ricciardo's great season in 2020? Since Ricciardo is a proven driver, I don't think if this season goes wrong for him, he has a lot of questions outside the formula. There isn't going to be much of an impact on his reputation from 2 bad seasons. Daniel Ricciardo being in this position is strange, however. As a talent and a quick driver, he is so impressive. As I said earlier, he has that raw pace that makes him so entertaining to watch. It's also great to know him, and he's just awesome. A racing driver who embodies what we love to see. In retrospect, Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen were a fantastic teammate partnership. It's just amazing what a driver lineup there is. Verstappen and Ricciardo wouldn't have been able to do that in the long term. The situation could just be chaotic in my opinion. It was bound to happen sooner or later. There were a lot of mixed opinions about Daniel leaving Red Bull, but now I do want to ask your opinion down in the comment box because I'm curious about what else do people think. Although many people are convinced that he's finished, I just can't bring myself to say that he's washed up, even though he's finished. So we're bringing this amazing video to a close in this way. Please subscribe to our channel to always get updated about Formula One and other topics. Thanks for watching, passionate Formula One fans.